Crowd filling in nicely at the People's Sports Center here in Tianjin in anticipation of the men's individual all-around final. Carol Angela, this has every indication of being a coronation for the Chinese men. They're still basking in their team championship.
You are so right. For the individual all-around competition, China is coming in ranked first and second. And to be honest, if those guys are on tonight, they're going to be untouchable. But right behind them is Alexei Bondarenko from Russia. He has a clean, classic style and daring routine, so he could win it. But I think we'd be foolish to count out the reigning world champion, Ivankov from Belarus. He's coming in a 9th spot only because he fell off high bar, and he talked to me after the competition. He said, I felt so foolish. That is never going to happen again, and I believed him. He has his heart set on winning his 3rd world title.
Quick word about the lone Canadian wolf out there tonight, and that's Alexander Jeltkov of Montreal.
It's wonderful that he qualified for this competition. His goal tonight is quite simple. Hit 6 for 6, but especially do a really good high bar routine. He's already qualified for high bar event finals, so tonight he could really impress the judges.
As Kate Richardson did her first World Championships, 19th all around, just 15 years old. All kinds of room to grow for Kate. But here is the Canadian star of the moment, Alexander Jeltkov, in the all-around competition. Guess what? He's up on the high bar first.
I think he really liked the effects of that random draw, starting on his best event. Good news, Scott, is he'll be very fresh and can put on one heck of a show. He wants them to remember this when they start to judge event finals. This is such an easy routine for him. Jam-packed with difficulty. It has a full 10-point start value, but he's mastered it, and he's extremely confident. Full twisting double layout, and he is right on.
There's the Canadian contingent here at the People's Sports Center cheering Jeltkov on.
On the Kovacs, catching with slightly bent arms. But there is no deduction on this picture-perfect full twisting double layout. He knows how to nail it down.
Perfect landing for Alexander Jeltkov. 9-6-7-5 is the result to get him off to a good start in the all-around. Yufu of China.
Oh, now there is something special. Tsukahara double back. That vault is just nuts. The air time that is required to come safely back down to the ground is incredible.
21 years old, member of the World Championship team here.
This could classify as an extreme sport all on its own. 2 saltos out of the Tsukahara. He's got to pull for all he's worth to get enough rotation.
Chinese would love an individual all-around champion. 9-7-3-7 for Yufu. He might be on his way. There's world champion Ivankov.
But word out of the warm-up gym is that Ivankov has sustained a hamstring injury, but he wants to compete anyway.
Meantime, we'll shift our attention to 21-year-old Alexei Bondarenko, who has his eyes on a world championship. He was silver all around at the last Worlds.
And he too has now mastered the timing of this floor area. Many men do pommel horse work for the bonus, but few do it as well as Bondarenko. Look at how high his hips are. Really manipulates the move well. A very serious athlete, a very focused athlete. He knows he is capable of winning this world championship title, and he wants it desperately.
Also a very emotional athlete, competes for the Dynamo club in Moscow.
Last line, full twisting double back, and that's exactly the landing he was hoping for.
Russian staff likes it. 21-year-old Alexei Bondarenko has to be considered, as you said, off the top of this competition, one of the favorites here. Meantime, Ivankov has fallen off the high bar and is up to repeat the routine.
Now, he caught the release move he missed during the team competition, so he kept his promise, but it was a very simple element that he fell on. So disaster has already struck Ivankov.
So there will be no 3rd World Championship for Ivankov and his coach Viktor Dolodov devastated. 9-7-2-5 for Alexei Bondarenko on the floor exercise. He's on his way. Look at this score for the world champion. 7-9-7-5. His day is obviously done. A long way to go, but the Chinese favorite leads Liu Yufu at 9-7-3-7 to start. Two Russians tied for second. Sasha Jeltkov on his best event high bar stands fourth after the first rotation. We'll be back to the People's Sports Center in just a moment. The Temple of the Sea God, nestled into Tianjin's urban jungle. It's a place of worship in the port city, the largest open coastal metropolis in North China. Back to the men's individual all-around competition, and Jordan Jovtchev of Bulgaria. He had a 9-5 to start on the high bar. Trains in Bart Connor's gym in the United States, the former U.S. gold medalist.
And he is such a wonderful athlete. He too is capable of winning here today. Doesn't talk much about it, just goes about the business of perfection. Tremendous strength in his pommel horse work. And look at that planche. Holds it perfectly. Oh, a very daring move. Thomas roll, named after former member of the Great Britain team, Neil Thomas. That one should never be performed unless you're at this level with some expert coaching. Extremely dangerous because you roll down onto the back of your neck, but obviously Jovtchev can handle it. Double layout, he handles that too.
Well, a Bulgarian appears to be on the move in this individual all-around competition. Jordan Jovtchev trying to build on that 9-5 from the high bar.
A very classy performance, excellent execution on the 1.5, 1.5.
9-7-1-2 will be a welcome result for the Bulgarian as he looks for a medal. Blaine Wilson of the United States. Notice that his right arm shoulder area heavily bandaged.
Blaine had a spectacular vault in the team competition, and this one is even better. It's a Rocher handspring double front. It has a 10-point start value. This guy is quite a character. Really a dynamic performer. Handspring double front, not afraid of anything. Two saltos, completely blind landing. He knows exactly where the floor is.
Stuck in 10th for the past few years. 9-6-8-7. He was 10th at the World Championships in Lausanne, 10th at the Olympic Games all around in Atlanta. Now Tsukahara of Japan on the rings.
He is a strong all-round athlete, but to be honest, rings is probably his weakest event. Definitely needs to develop more upper body strength to hold those really impressive strength elements. He swings well, so he has those elements mastered. Giant double layout. The ending is certainly impressive.
Alexei Nemov to the pommel horse. And it wasn't long ago that this was very difficult territory for the Russian star. Shoulder surgery in 1997. Now back on the horse.
Really a textbook example of impeccable execution. Take a look at his legs, completely glued together, very stretched at the hips. A long, beautiful line. And this is poetry in motion. Spindles in the flared position. No one does it better than that. But as you know, Scott, pommel horse is a mental game, and he's winning the battle.
Second after the first rotation. 9-7-2-5 on the floor exercise, and he's got a very good pommel horse routine.
Incredible shot. Compare this to any other gymnast in the world and they won't measure up. This is perfect, impeccable amplitude, meaning the hips are high, the legs are stretched and fully extended.
He's got staying power. Silver all around at the Olympic Games in '96, 9.725 for Nemov on the pommels. Back to Tsukahara's score on the rings, 9.35, puts him in 8th position currently. So the Russian Nemov puts together great floor and pommel routines, 9.725 in both cases to take the lead. Alexander Jeltkov in 15th, following a 9.2 on the floor exercise. It's a 6-ring circus down there. We'll return to the World Championships in a moment.